Getting into it.
Getting into it.
Getting into it.
We getting into it.
Getting into it.
I'm getting into it.
We getting into it. Getting into it.
Getting into it.
Getting into it.
I'm getting into it.
I'm getting into it.
We getting into it.
We getting into it.
Oh yeah, we getting into it. This cash at hand. This the Mixsquadtv, and we are taking Thursday back, one Thursday at a time. Glad to be back with y'all. We have a packed show full of information in the music world. There's not if there was anything, there's a week where there's a lot going on, and we're gonna touch bases on all of the things today. First and foremost, go to the mixsquad.com for all Mix Squad related information, whether that's mixing consultations, a community, joining our squad, whether it's lyric videos, whether you need to look into our content packages for you to be able to have the most optimum sound for your channels. Also, in addition to that, we do a post-production as well for any type of movie, film, short film, etc. Hit us up at themixsquad.com, and of course on Instagram, TikTok, Facebook at Mixsquadtv. You will find us there. You can shout us out and get in touch with us as well. But like I mentioned before, we have quite a few things in the news this week. Just a few nuggets of things that have happened in the news. I guess this week in history of music history, we have a few things that has occurred. That's just kind of what has occurred over this week. On May 22nd, 1971, the Rolling Stones album Sticky Fingers began a 4-week run at #1 on the U.S. album chart, featuring the hit single Brown Sugar. In 2007, on Today, Ozzy Osbourne's album Black Rain debuted at #3 on the Billboard 200 chart, selling 152,000 copies in its first week. And also today, on 2010, Godsmack album The Oracle became the third #1 album on the Billboard 200 chart, selling 117 copies in its first week. That's actually our segment for this, the news and music history. But we have plenty of news and current history that is all over the place, right? We have the Chris Brown UK arrest and bail. Chris Brown was arrested in the UK and later released on a $6.7 million bail after paying €5 million to get out. He's set to proceed with his world tour, Breezy Bowl 20, despite facing serious assault charges for allegedly attacking music producer Abraham Dow with a tequila bottle in a London nightclub in 2023. Well, I'll stay off that tequila, man. And then we have a Eurovision controversy. This is not something here in the States that we're very familiar with, but geopolitically, it is definitely taken a rise in controversy. But there's an Austrian singer, JJ, the winner of this year's Eurovision Song Contest, has sparked controversy by calling for Israel's exclusion from the 2026 contest due to the Gaza war. This move has reignited debates around the song contest and its ties to politics. We also got Kanye with, I don't know if it's a troll job, in a minute here, in a moment, we're going to bring in Audio Manipulator to kind of discuss these next two topics, regarding Kanye West and his Heil Hitler song, and also what's going on with Diddy. And of course, we all know that Diddy's on trial, and we just have a few things that we like to just talk about that. We can move forward now and bringing on Audio Manipulator to the stage. What's up, brother? How you doing today, bro? You're muted.
Blessed nevertheless, man.
That's what's up. That's what's up. Have you heard the Kanye song?
Not yet.
Man, all right. So when you hear it, you know what I'm saying? Because I was introduced to it by hearing someone say that all he says in this song is F niggas, Hail Hitler. And I'm thinking that's the whole, like, because the way he positioned it, that's why. And I encourage all of us out there, like when you hear commentary, like even us, fact checked it. Go back and like the dude was saying that he made a song where that's all he said. So I'm literally expecting to hear F niggas Hail Hitler, the whole song. That wasn't the case. Like he had lyrics. He was talking about not having his kids. He was talking about paparazzi. He was talking about his mental state of mind right now, dealing with what he's dealing with right now. Now, we know Ye. He is going to draw into anything that could basically stir the emotions of people up. But I was able to hear the song, and when you hear the song, you probably will be able to like fully comprehend the troll job in this song and not like take it to heart that he really on some like Hail Hitler stuff. But that is what half of the people are gonna do. And that's what the other half of the people are going to see it for face value, that he's doing it for shock value, he's doing it for clicks, he's doing it for views, he's doing it for listens,
Right.
and not necessarily doing it because he's trying to actually praise Hitler for any kind of reason. I think that the point of it in the song, he says he has now become the victim, Heil Hitler. So that the point is he feels internally that everyone has now made him to be the bad guy, therefore he is now Hitler, and that's the principle of the song. And so check it out for yourself. I mean, not just you, but for those out there, because like, it's hard to say, man, like Kanye be out there, but at the same time, like when I went to go look at the song, it had 5 million, listens on YouTube. So like at the end of the day, like maybe, just maybe I need to take a little bit from Kanye because I can't get, 105 listens to my stuff. You know what I'm saying? And I'll be saying some real, like, true to life type of lyrical content, and I can't get 100 people to check it out. So maybe I need to, 9 or something. You know what I'm saying? Like,
get a little negative.
But then we move on to Diddy, man. I know, day 8 we in now of this doggone trial, day 8 or something like that. One thing I'm gonna say, I got a clip for us to play, but one thing I'm gonna say before we play this clip, I'm trying to figure out, maybe you can answer this, bro. Why are people really there's a lot of people surprised? Like there's a lot of people that I hear that I overhear like, oh my God, he did what? But like, have you been under a rock for the last 20 years? Have y'all been like, I don't understand why people are so in shock.
Right.
There has been outcry after outcry. A girl who got shot in the face by him has been saying for 20 years, Diddy shot me.
I seen him.
I seen him.
I seen the muzzle the flash come from his hand.
You've had countless victim after countless victim, whether it be discreet and small little occasions that are hint towards stuff. Like you've had people consistently say over and over again, yeah, I've been to Diddy parties, but I leave before 1 a.m. Like this stuff don't register to people that there's some weird, freaky shit going on. Because for most people who have interacted with Diddy to say, I leave at a certain time, should trigger people to understand after it's more than just freaky stuff. Like it's some extreme freaky stuff that's going on. And so day 8 of the trial, we getting Kid Cudi. He came on the stand. He was basically verifying that he believes that Diddy blew up his car. He gave that account, and countless others have now come on and given their account. But the problem is that a lot of the public is saying right now they don't understand this case from the prosecution side. And I'm going to just share this clip. Shout out to Real Life Productions. Their real life lawyer came on their platform and kind of dropped some information on basically as a lawyer and as, from his standpoint, exactly what he feels like their play is. And so I am going to play that for us right now.
Being 11 for 11, correct on what's happening with the case. I hope I'm keeping my track record intact, but I think I honestly see where the government is going with this.
Got you. Because a lot of people don't, right? A lot of people are like, they keep making her disclose her sexual deviancy, if you will, and they keep talking about abuse. And they're all like, we're trying to tie this into sex trafficking, but we don't see it yet. So where are we missing this? Like,
I think, honestly, the whole thing with the sex and the whole thing with the assault, smoke and mirrors. The prosecutor is basically putting that up, and the defense is biting on it and really defending that when that's not really the crux of the matter. So if you look, there are 2 allegations of sex trafficking. There are 2 allegations of sex trafficking. There's the racketeering.
right.
And then there's 2 other charges. I'm trying to think of what they are.
Somebody looked at it real quick.
Real quick. I have them. I have what they are. So it's the 2 allegations of racketeering and then transportation to engage in prostitution. So those is 2 counts of that. And so you think about it. They didn't really allege that Cassidy was sex trafficked. Right? They didn't really allege that she was brought or prostituted. So
Right, because it seems the other way around. It seems like,
right.
yeah.
So at first I was kind of like, okay, what are they getting at? What is the prosecution really wanting to prove with having her on so early? And why did they put the male escort up first?
Right.
And so I'll tell you right now that the 2 bombshells are later to come with the 2 individuals that they're going to have and come and speak to how they were sex trafficked and how they were transported. How did they get there? Now, you can almost think that the first escort was part of that, right? But he really, in essence, even though sex trafficking, the laws on that are broad, right? They started off in 1909 or 1910, and then they were amended later on, I think in the 80s. But the thing is, they're so broad, he could be basically used to prove sex trafficking, because remember, it was a time that both Diddy and Cassie said, let's bring him to New York. And so they flew him in to New York. Now, as broad as the law is, we could be looking at part of the transportation, part of bringing him in, compensating him to perform a sex act. And so that could be part of it. But the thing is, you really don't need the coercion of the collusion of Cassie and or the whole issue with her being beaten, traumatized, and all of that to prove these cases. So why are you really emphasizing all of this?
Right.
Why? That's the question. Why?
And so the bombshell is this.
Real life street stars.
Racketeering requires a conspiracy. And so I was listening to some of the other lawyers and people talk about it, and it's like, well, it's very hard to prove a conspiracy of one and all of this, and it's rarely done. Cassie is not here to prove anything other than the racketeering, because she's the co-conspirator.
Ooh. Let's break that down.
All right. So you can check that out on your own for the rest of the full breakdown. Again, that's Real Life Street Stars. They do a pretty good job. They got Jaguar on there. They do have, Gene Deal. A lot of people on that platform that kind of give their breakdown. But yeah, like we see from Break It Down Inside, shout out to Inside. love to just get his thoughts on here as well one day, just because he has some very insightful takes on just different things in general in life. He say the fact that they letting this court session go on forever, but here's the thing: morals are great, but the law holds weight, and that's facts. Like we in a situation, like I was saying, backstage, where like just from what he was saying, that we distracted from the whole like morality of what she was going through and the fact that she was a victim of these things, but the law in itself is like you benefited your career-wise, finances, influences, you benefited from this relationship, so that does qualify as a co-conspirator, and that could be the curveball because they got everybody over here focusing on the right hand while the ball really in the left hand. I'm really setting this up to be where she the co-conspirator, and I can see that because she probably got immunity of some kind. You know what I'm saying? They probably understand to some degree that she was victimized, but presented her like, hey, we need you to testify or we gonna charge you with his stuff, which would compel her to go and say her piece.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Because it wasn't as if, like, from the transcripts, they wasn't really trying to make it really, like, they wasn't really trying to press the issue of like the abuse. They were just trying to get her, in the same cities, in the same spaces, dealing with the same people, connecting the dots with all of these different people, and having her be a witness to all of these different transactions that could be considered sex trafficking, right? Racketeering and all of those other things. But yeah, what you got for me, audio manipulator?
The crazy thing, they had her mother take the stand today. You know what I'm saying? Talking about how he like forced her to give her like 20 stacks to him or some other crap. It's like, wow. And she was he took her phone. Her mama pulled up when he took her phone. It was her birthday, and she tried to get in between them and get her phone back. He drove off in her car. This stuff crazy.
Yeah, like the mama stuff. The mama stuff is deep. Like you over here paying $5 million to keep people quiet and then taxing the mama $20K. Like, that's petty, bro. Like, I ain't gonna hold you up. Like, that's petty as hell. And you over here really about to stick up the mama. You know what I'm saying? We all know that. That's why I say at the end of the day, like, for those of us who are considered conspiracy theorists like myself, we no longer are considered that, right? Because the conspiracies are all true. Like, they, not all of them, but a lot of things that we have heard about what's going on in Hollywood have proven to be true. Over the course of time, a lot of the stuff that I have speculated has proven to be true. And so, like, that's why to us, to people like us who like we freely talk about like these weird things that's going on that we still feel like are deeper than Diddy, right? We feel like you just you just a fall guy.
He's just a leaf off the branch.
I really feel like the feds coming in and grabbing whatever they needed to grab up out of his homes had nothing to do with Diddy. It had everything to do with getting evidence from his house that had high-ranked officials and people that they didn't want involved to be excluded. So we need to come grab our tape because this president was here and this senator was here, and we want to protect them from what's about to happen to Diddy. Because there's a lot of bigger people involved in this, and he is just a fall guy. Now, he is no saint. He is a demon, but he ain't the devil. He a demon. You know what I'm saying? Like, you know what I'm saying? He ain't the head, he ain't the head Negro in charge when it comes to this type of stuff. He learned this type of behavior from someone who probably groomed him. Because there's a lot of talk about his come up in the music game. How you go from somebody who was a 20-year-old male who didn't graduate yet, offered to be the CEO of a label just before you
show is quiet.
Huh?
I said Clyde Davis show is quiet.
Right. I mean, ain't he dead?
Oh,
like I mean, I don't know. I think so. That would be a reason to be quiet. But it is said that was a, if he alive or unalive, that is a reason. Like, it is, if he is quiet and he's alive, we know why. Yeah. Right? The same reason why we know Russell over there and overseas.
Well, Ellen took off.
So I say all of those things because it is weird to see his rise to his status at a label in which you wasn't even finished school yet. And the documentary that I was watching specifies that like he was at odds with his household, his mother, or whatever, because they wanted him to graduate and he got offered the CEO job the summer before he graduated. And all of a sudden, he went from a guy that was just in the building to a guy running the label.
Interning, quitting, now running.
And so the behaviors perpetuated by him was probably how he was treated under Clive Davis, right? So I do feel like that this is learned behavior, and he may have took it to the umpteenth degree, but this is something that you just don't come up with all by yourself. Like you're groomed to some degree to do this to others, just like hurt people. We see this in abuse cases all the time. It's just not always spoke of, but it is very common within the certain communities that there's abuse. Almost 90% of the time, even when we talk about homosexuality, generally speaking, from even my experiences being openly candid to talk to those who like same sex, 90%, 9 out of 10 people I talk to claim that there is some type of molestation that has occurred at some point, which to me tells me that this is something that is infused inside of you. So yeah, so I'm reading the comments that Inside said, man, yeah, man, all of what you're saying, bro. Say, yeah, getting mama, Holly Weird. That part, the big money people was about to get caught up. Yeah, like I really feel like the feds, he probably was a fed to some degree or was used by the feds. He may not literally be a fed, but he was definitely an informant of some kind, being the type of power that he has and influence that he has. Yeah, so it's just sad to see that, people are now just really starting to open their eyes to this stuff, because like even people that I know who like really just don't tap into the conspiracy stuff or really care about what's going on behind the veil, they're just like the peeing in the mouth stuff, and like they just really thrown off. And I'm just like, bro, this is like, unfortunately, this is like, I'm desensitized to it because I done heard about this stuff for 2 decades. Like I swear, since I was 20 years old, I've been hearing about Diddy on Diddy parties and what's going on with freak offs and what's going on behind the scenes. Like this ain't new to me. It's just now finally coming to light. And what happens in the dark
will come to light.
Always come to light. And so, yeah, man. I mean, we gonna conclude it on there for what's going on. We're gonna keep y'all up to date and give you the commentary on how we feel about it. It's just that I guess I'm desensitized to just what we're hearing that's coming out in court, because it's no shock to me at all. It's just, but then there's another side that I'll share real quick, that it's the truth. It makes me feel uncomfortable, but it is the truth, which is this is what we want. This is what we want. It's entertainment. This is what we want. I wake up literally and go find whoever I'm watching to give me the rundown of what happened in court today. Like it's breakfast, bro. Like I ain't gonna lie to you. And that's the problem though. And it's a problem that I'm telling you, it's not just a problem that others have. I have it too. We, to some degree, thrive off of the fact that we have this information to dialogue about. We literally love this as a society, even though he gross, he a demon, he did what, he did that. At the same time, we embellish it. You know what I'm saying? Like there's been more views on YouTube about this trial than there has about mostly anything that has ever been looked into as far as content, one solid topic of content on YouTube. I have been trying to just withhold myself from just starting a channel and go and be like, let me go read the transcripts, because I'll probably get way more followers, way more engagement, and way more like views and watch hours and stuff like that if I just started a sub channel that strictly focused on this trial. And that's sad when there's so much other information that we, share on the music side, but also just in general out there, right? There's YouTube channels that they just strictly focus on helping the homeless. The whole channel is focused on feeding the homeless or doing righteous acts for people. And they not that they're struggling to get the viewership, because a lot of them have built successful platforms, but compared to just like this Diddy trial stuff where you could just come on the scene and start covering the Diddy trial or go to the trial and walk around the courthouse and film live, you would instantly become someone who is popular amongst the internet by just covering this trial. And so it is something that we just have to learn to break away from. We have to learn that the drama is not worth the actual impact that the world has to go through. But we just, for our own personal entertainment purposes, can't break away from it, man. I know I can't.
Like,
what say you?
It's a good way to distract us from something big about to happen. You know what I'm saying? They just trying to blind us from something.
Yeah, that's what Inside is saying. And being those who, of us who have some semblance of what we call being awake, I find that absolutely true, because it's always, and I know Inside is a military man, so I'm sure he fully understands the art of distraction. Right. Because that is something that they practice in the military in some levels, like not every single level of the military. You know what I'm saying? Like if you just a frontline army guy, like you frontline army, like you ain't being told nothing but be in the front line and go die before other people. You know what I'm saying? But on certain levels, they have to do a certain set of distractions so you can be paying attention over here. Similar to what I think the prosecution lawyers are doing. I feel like they're distracting us, trying to paint a picture of Diddy's being a monster and being someone who was extremely abusive and just did all of these wild, outlandish things. Because truthfully, what does his sexual orientation or preference have to do with anything for real? I mean, as much as we want to say it's gross and as much as we want to say we detest it, he likes. I'm telling on myself, but at the end of the day, if you go to Pornhub, I mean, it ain't like it's not a category. Like, apparently there's some people who like it. Yes, I ain't saying I do, and it's not something that I personally find it extremely just degrading and nothing that I would actually want to do to a human. But believe me, there are hundreds of videos of people getting that treatment willingly for money on video. So it ain't like this is just some one-off Diddy doing some stuff to Cassie that don't nobody else do. I ain't encourage you to go look, but I'm saying it's out there and it's easy, it's free and accessible, and it's a fetish. It's a gross ass fetish, but it's a fetish nevertheless. So what I'm saying though is that, like, when we start to get into details about him as a person and his orientations and what he likes, but there's, like, again, a fetish, cuckold. That's a fetish. Like I don't understand it. I could never just get like comfortable with having another man just ram through my wife and then I take his excrement and start rubbing it on my nipples and shit. That is just a little too far, brother. But it's his fetish. That ain't got nothing to do with what's breaking the law or not. But that's what the prosecution has been painting the picture of. And I feel like it's a switch and bait. I feel like that ain't really got nothing to do with much. They just wanted to kind of distract us into thinking that this is to paint him as a monster, and all while they using her as bait to set him up for co-conspiracy. So, it's been quite a week and a half, almost 2 weeks going on with this trial. At this point, I just like,
the real stuff to get to.
Yeah, that's why I'm,
get to the point, man.
Yeah, that's what we waiting on. That's what we waiting on, man. But definitely, man, I see Inside still coming. We definitely got to get you on and get your takes on just all of what's going on. I see your content. Shout out to Break It Down Inside. Go check out his site as well, his channel where he talks life. He talks, a lot of the shorts that I see are inspirational about just yourself and your attitude and getting yourself in line with things. The latest one I saw was just like something that hit home right before we hopped on. I saw it, which was talking about like when you pivot and you make a change and other people just aren't on board with that change, how you just need to, just like relish in that change because they wasn't ready, and you're gonna get that pushback. And as Mix Squad, for those, not a lot of people understand the history of the Mix Squad and where we came from and the things that we had to go through to become the Mix Squad. And that's exactly one of those things we did. We pivoted away from something else that just wasn't working for us personally, and we had to just go and take a swing for the fences on our own. And here we are, and we're gonna keep pushing the envelope and keep building this platform. But that registered with me because that is something that we're actively doing. And a lot of the things that he mentions in his shorts and his videos do register to those who are real, like real people who are really persevering and really trying to be great. His content is for you. So definitely check out Break It Down Inside. What we're going to do now, we're going to move forward to just our, the different segments for the day. We have our pro tips. And we also, what else we got? Audio manipulator. We got something else today. You got something else going on other than our pro tips?
Well, pro tips, we got don't let anybody listen to your mix.
Right.
Share it to the right person, you know what I mean? Because you'll get like a lot of different opinions and it just be like too much. But if you have that professional person that just like got them ears and could tell you right where to attack the point, that's who you should go to, really.
Definitely. Definitely. Like there was a community of people that we had, and there was feedback given, and it was like 5 different feedbacks that was given, but 2 contradicted the other, right? Like, hey, I think you should turn the volume up on the vocal, and then the other is, I think you should turn the volume down on the vocal. You can't listen to both. It's impossible. You can't turn it up and down at the same time. So whoever the individual is that you had trusted the most, I would go with that feedback. And that goes to YouTube videos. I know we got stuff coming out, tutorials and different tips and techniques on engineering and sound design and things like that. Our tips and techniques may not be the best for you. I know that when I first started, I used to take everybody's tips and their techniques, and I would try it immediately. And like I had maybe a session that had 10 different types of mixing going on, all in the same session, just because I heard they do this. I heard they do that. I heard I got to use 7 compressions. I heard and it became too much. It became like, music in its core should be simple, right? Like I know we know all of what we go into the job of audio engineering, but sometimes we have to remind ourselves that just like any other profession, people who are outside of that profession don't appreciate the profession. People that are listening to music don't give a damn about all of the nuances and stuff that you put into making that song. They either like it or they don't. They like the vibe or they don't. They like the song or they don't. It like we sometimes overindulge into our field because that's our craft. So we get into the nuances. We get into sample rates and bit depth and dynamic range and lufs. Like we get into the weeds, but the regular consumer can give a damn about all that. They just want to hear something that make them feel good. And so we have to keep that in mind when we take feedback. We can get like the feedback can get so consuming that you forget that this is art. Like, you know what I mean? Like this is something that is very subjective. You know what I mean? What's good to one is horrible to another, right? So like we could take the Heil Hitler song that Kanye made. I may be able to draw concepts from that makes me understand what he's trying to say, even though it's a controversial thing he did. And then some other people will never ever even attempt to understand what he's trying to say because of what he said, right? And that's the art of subjectivity. No one has to agree. We can disagree, and it's okay. But do you like it? You gonna play it again, or you not?
I'm
Right?
that. I'm gonna see.
So, like, in me and my, at this point in my life, I'm not an avid music listener. Like, I love music, I make music, I mix music, but I'm just not in a place where I was in my 20s, where I'm just rolling around the street, just bumping music, listening to music all the time. It's just not where I'm at. I'm more into building the business, more into making Mix Squad the best community possible on earth for engineers, artists, and producers, right? I'm more focused on building us up and building our business up. And so I'm not really like listening to everything that's out there. But I'll tell you, I have run across some top level artists recently, and I hear they mix, and I'm talking about millions of streams, and the shit suck. It do. It just do. And that's just my subjective opinion, right? Apparently, I'm in the minority because there's millions of people that's on the doggone thing, giving it comments, and bro, this fire, this is my anthem of the summer, and I'm just like, ain't nobody who the fuck listen to this? It's trash. Trash. Like, what's old boy who just had, like, I mean, it's a bit in a minute that it's been out, but Rob 49, what the helly? You know what I'm saying? Like, we at the point now, like, that's catching a wave storm. And I saw an Instagram, I think a lot of people have shared it by now, where the dude talking about, like, man, those who got bars, who really going to the studio, who really putting down like real music and actually putting dedication into the craft, like, ain't no space for you no more, because you going and actually trying to come up with real thought-provoking concepts and thought-provoking lyrics, while we just get what the helly?
With the pack.
What the helly?
No.
Exactly. And so that kind of points to what we was talking about last week. We got to stop perpetuating certain stuff that just ain't cute, bro. Like, a lot of this stuff it's no longer cute, dog. Like, keep that stuff for Grand Theft Auto. You know what I'm saying? Like, it ain't cute. So yeah, and break it down, say, as a consumer, you're right. Yeah, because we don't like, the consumer ain't really into the weeds of all of that. Like, man, how is their panning? They need to just widen it out a little bit more. Or maybe if they just put a little bit more glue into their mix. Ain't nobody talking like that when they listen to music. Like, they just listen to it. It's similar to if you went to filmmaking, right? Like, I'm sure Ryan Coogler, when he rewatches films or watch films, he watching it from a different perspective because he knows what it takes to put together scenes and how to influence actors. I don't know nothing about that. I just want to be entertained and pop some popcorn in my mouth, bro. Like, I don't really care about the nuances of everything that go into the movie. I just want to be entertained.
Only thing I care about is the sounds now. I sit in the middle at the movie.
That's because you've been exposed. You've been exposed to what's really going on to get you production on the sound production on the movie, right? Same here. Like, I'm listening, I'm like, are those real footsteps? Or is that me over here with my right? Like, we know now. You know what I'm saying? The veil has been unlifted. So, like, you can no longer listen to content or movies in the same way that we used to, because we know that most of the audio has been infused. Or even like, if you have, as we were going over the other day, the ADR, right, where you replace people who maybe messed up or maybe had a bad capturing of their audio. Somebody in the studio is about to go record that part, and now you got to infuse that into the scene, right? And so most people don't know that. I didn't know that until we learned about it. And shout out to Dale, man. We're gonna try to get Dale on this platform and on the Sunday Spotlight at some point over the summer to give us more information on post-production, because that's who we got that information from. And those were gems for anybody in audio. Those were definitely gems. So we go ahead and take a small little break. We're gonna give you it's a time for our sponsor, which the sponsor of the day is us. The Mix Squad. That's the sponsor. All right, and so we have something for you here. It is for Sunday Spotlight. if you want to be on the Sunday Spotlight, go to the mixsquad.com/Sunday Spotlight. Fill out the form. It just gives us information about who you are. From there, we will contact you on booking a date so you can get your shine. If you are artist, engineer, producer, if you own a label, if you are someone within the music space that is an independent who is trying to just, do this professionally or is already doing it professionally, the Spotlight is where you can get your shine. So let's do this. I'm gonna play this commercial. Let's go.
Hey, what's up? I'm Q the Music from the Mix Squad, and I'm calling out all artists, producers, engineers, and music professionals. Do you want to showcase your music, tell your story, and connect with a growing community of creatives? Then come join us on Sunday Spotlight, our exclusive interview series on Mixsquadtv. If you're ready for your spotlight, hit us up on IG at Mixsquadtv, and let's make something happen.
All right, yeah, join the squad. That's another thing I was gonna say, y'all. We are really carving out a community here with the Mix Squad where we really care about you and what you care about. See, a lot of communities that you join don't really get personal. They just have you join. They have you do some challenges. They may have you like work on the craft of engineering, but they don't really know what your actual desires and inspirations are. When you join the squad, we actually do a one-on-one, like an intake on what is it that you do, right? Are you an engineer? Now we know that we can cartel information for you to be sure that you're getting what you need out of being the best audio engineer, resources and connects to other people that you may need. You may already have a built out website and a built out, a situation where you can traffic and funnel your business. We will help you promote that for yourself, because when you come to the squad, it's not like you can't have your own. We're going to make sure that if you're set up, right, if you got your site and you got things already set up, we're going to have a platform where you can get on, like here on Takin Thursday Back, or the Spotlight, where you now can get face forward in front of people and start engaging with our audience by being a member. In addition to that, like if you're an artist, there are a lot of things that you just may not know you need: a press kit, how to get album covers, how to utilize your resources in the best capacity, because not everybody out here got $10,000 for their marketing campaign. It's just not, and 10 grand is on the low end. And I'm being honest, $10,000 is very, very small amount of marketing money. And so if you are like me, who ain't trying to spend $10,000 to put myself out there as far as just marketing, I'm talking about just ads and everything else, then you got to utilize other resources, right? Organic resources that may take a little longer, but at the same time, we will piggyback off of each other. By you being a member, now you have a platform that believes in you and that will promote you. You will be on our Mix Squad, help me out, the playlist, right? Right, the playlist where you can get spins off of other members who come in. We all have this big playlist where you just on the road, you want to you want to cook or whatever you throw on. You go to Spotify or your Apple Music, you hit the playlist, and now you're getting people to engage in your music. You're getting listeners just by being a part of the fold, right? Producers, same thing. We give all type of information on just arrangement tips and connection tips. There's a lot of things when it comes down to the music space. 10% of the music space is about your music. I'll give it 15, maybe. You know what I'm saying? 85% of music is really everything else, because I feel like I got some hits, bro. I ain't gonna hold you. Like, I know I got some stuff in the arsenal. However,
not two.
Right. I got hits. However, it's not reaching the audiences that it needs to reach, because I haven't done some of the things that I'm sharing that we can do, which is campaign, put some ads behind it, market, things of that nature, right? But it's it's exposure. That's really all it is. The more and more people get exposed to you, the more chances you have to have someone like it, right? So for instance, it's just like the not taking a shot thing, right? Like, you know, Kobe made some extraordinary shots in his career. Extraordinary. But you also know Kobe was one of the worst shot takers ever, right? Like he took some of the worst shots ever. And man, I'm talking about quadruple teamed. And I'm on pump fake 3 times and shoot it over your face. Sometimes he had air ball though, but we don't really remember that. Jordan said the same thing. He said, like, I've missed, was it 7,000 something game winners or something? He was like, I've missed a lot of game winners. We only care about the ones he made. So you got to put yourself in a position where you have a chance to be heard, right? So I'd rather take 10 people and having 10 people decide whether or not they like my music or not than having nobody hear it and not decide anything. You got to get it in front of people. So I got to do a better job of that as well. Obviously, my focuses have been on different things. It's been more so on others, right? So when you focus on others, you tend to not necessarily put all of those resources into yourself, because my main focus is what I'm talking about right now, which is the squad, which is going to be a powerful community before you know it. I'm trying to tell you, by this time next year, the squad is going to be the place to be. So get it while it's hot right now. You can go to mixsquad.com, join the squad. You can currently get a subscription per month for $19.99 per month, or you can do the yearly plan, which saves you $60 overall for the year, and it's $180 for the whole year, where you get access to our basic course materials. You get access to the playbook, which is a video library that we've set up, that we actually take all of our in-house calls. We do an in-house Zoom calls every week, and all of the information in there we put inside of the playbook to have our members have access, and only members. This is not stuff that I'm going to put on YouTube. This is not stuff that we putting on Instagram. Like, this is all exclusively for members. That will be inside of the playbook. So enough on joining the squad. I'm gonna keep on keeping on with joining the squad. Y'all gonna get tired of hearing me say join the squad, because like we really wholeheartedly believe in what we're doing here with our community. And so that's just passion. Like, a lot of people call it salesy. I don't give a damn. I call it passionate about what we have to offer to those who need it. And a lot of independent artists, producers, and engineers simply need assistance. They don't have all their shit together. They don't have a website. They don't have the courses that they could sell, that they, even though they have the information, they maybe mastering engineers, been mastering for 2 decades, but don't have an actual course that they could package and sell on the internet and have residual income, intellectual property that they can just continuously sell or update, that they don't have to keep working on. Once you make the course, you made it, right? And so we just trying to help people help themselves. So I'm gonna get off of that, because I'll stay on that for another 30 minutes if you leave it to me. Don't be scared. Join the squad, the Mixsquad.com. Man, it's been a good Thursday as we take Thursday back one Thursday at a time. Yeah, man, we really, really enjoy coming and talking to you on the airwaves of IG, YouTube, and now Twitch. And we're going to continue to add more platforms as we continue to build. Outside of that, we got anything else at all that we want to cover today? Did I miss anything, audio manipulator?
Not that I can think of, but this Sunday we will be having Didi showing us a little bit something about live production and stuff.
Behind the faders.
Yeah,
that's a name that, yeah, for sure. Yeah, Didi behind the faders. I'm going to definitely enjoy this on Sunday, because, just to be honest, and I joke a lot and stuff like that, but being in this music space, dealing with the audio engineering side and dealing with the producing side and stuff like that, not as much artists. There's a lot of women, female artists, but it's not like Cue the Music in backstage is a part of Mix Squad, is a female that's representing on the engineering side, and so will Didi behind the faders do as well. And like, I'm just excited because we get to interview a woman who's in this industry, being an an engineer, and I know from going to an event where we met her, me and you, audio manipulator, that like, you know, there's probably like 3-4 women there that actually did what we do. You know what I mean? And she dope. Like, I'm saying, like she know her craft. She do live sound, and so I can't wait to pick her brain, because like that's one of my fears, right? Because like in my booth, in my studio, like I can mess up and I can do all type of stuff and eventually get to the sound that we want. But live, you better make the right EQ move right now.
Right now.
right now. Like it's too. So it's almost like me. I'm not a freestyle guy, right? Like it's almost like how I look at people who really freestyle. Like it's like that's impromptu and on the spot, and it takes a certain level of skill. Like I when it come down to recording a song and mixing a song, I need to be able to go back and hit delete. Like, nah, that ain't what I want to do. Like, you can't do that on a freestyle, bro. Whatever you said, you done said.
Something like that, but yeah.
I mean, what you said, you done said. Like on a real freestyle, I ain't talking about punching in. I'm talking about we live right now, and I hit a beat and I say freestyle. Whatever you say is gonna be live. Ain't no punching in,
back, baby.
So definitely tune in on Sunday, man. Inside, we're gonna have to chop it up, bro, because like I definitely see what you got going on, and we just gonna have to get some more outside opinions on the show, especially pertaining to the news segment. We're gonna have to chop it up with you, see what your schedule like. We'd definitely like to get some, some outside opinions on, some interaction from fans on what's going on, what they're seeing, dialogue with us, engage with us. We love that, man, not to just be up here talking for an hour, to ourselves. So we definitely gotta chop it up. In the meantime, in between time, what we always say, join the squad. Right? That's it. That's it for us today, y'all, on another Takin Thursday Back. We'll be back next week, hopefully with some more information about this Diddy trial. Hopefully there's some better news, right? Last week we had the young man who had got killed in Philly, who was doing some good music, and like, the streets is unforgiving, man. Like, it is what it is, but we just got to stop. We just got to stop perpetuating the dumbness out here. But yeah, hopefully we can get some better news, right? It's been kind of just... Because I didn't even bring up. I forgot to bring up because there's been so much news. Yeah, come on, man. Rod Wave over here shooting up the car 14 times over a female.
Damn, I didn't hear that one.
Yeah, like, bro, it's been too much news. It's been too much news. The man spazzed out. He done crashed out. Now his defense lawyer came out today and simply said that it was he was a victim of a robbery, but the initial reports is because he's arrested, they got Rod Wave on surveillance camera busting out a car that's technically his own, but his girlfriend was in it 14 times.
Wow.
At the end of the day,
wow,
we don't know what the hell happened. All I can say is, bro, you a coward, and for real, if you really just busting at a female one time, 14, bro.
14, God.
14, bro.
And you missed though now. But
I mean, apparently, because she ain't dead, but the problem is just like you know what I'm saying? You like 5'7", 300 pounds, dog. Like your self-esteem may not be where it need to be, but you are a millionaire. Like, right. What, like, you know how many women
you could get 10
I want a Rod Wave, even though, whatever he looked like and all of that. Like, I mean, if Rick Ross could be somebody for women, then so could Rod Wave. So, like, at the end of the day, like, is it that severe, dog? You are a young millionaire. Why are you busting 14 times over a broad, dog? Like, I'm gonna leave it there, and we're gonna probably have to just continue that next week. Because this stuff be making me just like, I understand in the height of the moment we react and we do things. There are things in my life that I have done in relationships that I honestly am not proud of. I'm not a woman abuser. I'm not someone who be out here just verbally or physically abusing. I have a wife that I've had for 10 years. But there are still moments and there are still times that I could have done better. I could have not, been as aggressive. I could have articulated myself a little better. I could have not let my anger get the best of me and been petty. Walk away, like, but I'm petty. I ain't gonna lie. Like, I'm petty as hell. Like, I come up with shit to do just because I'm a petty ass nigga. But like, so I could work on those things, right? It's just that So we all have things in the closet, bro. Like we all have skeletons that we know, like, man, I don't and wouldn't want that to be known to the public. And I get that. But at the same time, we need to stop doing stuff we don't want known to the public in public.
Right.
How about that? How about that? Like some stuff, like me and my wife ain't going live arguing. You know what I'm saying? I ain't about, I ain't busting up her car and outside. Like, I mean, some stuff I'm gonna do is gonna go public. If I shoot up her car 14 times and you can forget not want nobody to know about it.
All these
everybody
cameras,
got to know.
They got a lot of cameras in this world too. God.
And
Lord.
I'm not even famous and everybody would know about it. That's what I'm saying. Like, we in a world today where you need to understand that there are cameras everywhere. People record on their phones almost 24/7. You know what I'm saying? It is literally the time and space where, like, I get it. Back maybe 100 years ago, you can do a lot of stuff that you wouldn't get caught for today. I'm not advocating for crime. All I'm saying is that it was a lot easier to get away with, robbing a bank or some shit.
Right.
You know what I mean? Like, good luck. Good luck. These motherfuckers got money. They got tags in the money now. You'll be surprised. Like, you got a whole chip in that mug.
Get your ID. Where you at? Jeez.
Got a whole chip in the dollar bill. You thought you done robbed this bank, and they tracking you the whole time because they got an RFID chip in the damn bill. Like, it's just.
He said emotional men do that shit. Yeah.
Right. And that's true. And if you listen to his music,
that's what he said. You listen to his music.
He emotional as hell. Like, now get it. I have some tracks where I get off my emotions, right? Like, Sing to Me is one of them. I got plenty of tracks where I get rid of whatever things that were plaguing me, whether it's past relationships, things I've dealt with, things I've overcome. And that's fine, right? And it's okay. I'll even say this. It's okay to be an emotional man. It's okay because you're going to, like, depending on your upbringing, you may have been raised by nothing but sisters. You may have been raised by your mama. I'm not saying that it is completely wrong to be an emotional man. But what I am saying is that you have to learn how to control and deal with them as they come. Unfortunately, we are not taught that at an early age, that, like, like my son, he get emotional and I'll be like, bro, control all that. Control that. You know what I'm saying? Because you can't control what you think. You can't control how you feel. But those are literally things you can't control. There's some things that have happened to me in life, and I'll be like, I don't know why I feel this way. I just feel some kind of way because I can't control it. If I could control how I feel, I wouldn't care about her. You know what I'm saying? Like, whatever the situation was, I'll be like, man, forget her and mean it. I say forget her, but I'll be crying. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, I'm affected by it, even though I have no control over why. We have to learn to take control of our emotional state and learn how to bottle it and then reflect on it and use it to learn instead of acting immediately on our emotions, which causes us to shoot a car 14 times and now be facing 15, 20 years in prison over a crash out over a female when you a millionaire.
Now your money gone, brother. Lawyers, jail.
Yeah. All back to the same system that gave it to you in the first place. Because that's all they doing with these young rappers and artists that's out here is they giving them these deals. They halfway getting them paid because half these deals be 360 and half these deals be putting money back into the label. And then once you get big enough to where you are making your own money, you crash out and now they taking it back. You think with stuff going on with Diddy, with him having to pay all the way he have to pay and having all his assets seized and stuff. Basically, he did an emergency hearing where he was trying to get clearance to be able to unfreeze his assets so he can try to leave some for his kids, which means that he understands that he about to be gone. Right. Like, he about to be struck out. You gone. Because like, you wouldn't be advocating for that if you felt strongly about getting off of this case. You wouldn't be like, hey, let me unseize some assets so I can make sure my kids have something. These feds don't give a hell what your kids getting. They want their money back. We got a debt deficit that we need to knock down, and Diddy a part of that plan. Like, that's
and they better hurry up and show what he did, or he might walk away. Keep on showing.
Hey,
them.
look. I get it. The feds is like 97.8% on conviction rate. I know we had a mishap with NBA YoungBoy recently, but generally speaking, they not missing, bro. And especially on something as high profile as Diddy in the allegations that he has. Oh, best believe right now they toying with us. Best believe it's a rollout strategy, just like we do with our music. Every week I'm gonna just give you a little something to keep you interested, a little sprinkle, and then by week 6 we got a whole album.
Oh yeah.
And so I hate to say this, y'all, because I'm not an advocate for locking people up. I'm not an advocate for locking black men up. I'm not an advocate for taking powerful, influential black men and putting them away. However, in this case, I'm rooting for the feds. I ain't gonna lie to you. Bye-bye, Diddy. You need to go. You need to go, bro. Because I got daughters. I got 4 of them. You know what I'm saying? Do you realize that Cassie was the same age as his daughters when he was grooming Cassie?
Damn.
You got to understand the deviance inside of a person when you have a daughter the same age as the person that you peeing in. Like, oh, I'm sorry that he had people peeing because he didn't do it. But the fact that you have groomed her to be this sexual person and escort and freak offs and swinger parties, and granted, I get it. She was grown too, right? You know what I'm saying? Like, I get it. Like, by the letter of the law, she was grown. But this man was like 15 years older than her. You know what I'm saying? Like, we all understand the dynamics of humans. We understand, because I have a wife that's 10 years younger than me. I understand and understood that she was delicate when it came down to how I treated her in the relationship, especially early on, because she was impressionable. She, you know what I'm saying? A lot of things, however I conducted myself and treated her in that early stages of our relationship was going to set the tone, because I was 29 years old and she was 19 years old. So at the end of the day, me being someone who is in a relationship and has been in a relationship for over 10 years with my spouse that's 10 years younger than me, understands the mind state of a young 19-year-old teenager. That's a teenager, 19. That's a teenager.
Not developed yet.
Not fully developed. And so if you're going to be in that type of situation with somebody, you have to be emotionally mature enough to be the head and be the leader and be careful on how you build that relationship. Be careful on the things you say. Be careful on the things you do, because all of those things are going to make that person and make an impact forever on that person. And so by him doing the things he did to Cassie, it was truly molding. And I don't care what nobody say about she was grown too, or people out here making excuses that, not making excuses, but painting Cassie as somebody that, she knew what she was doing and all of that stuff. It's hard for me to believe it, bro. And I'm a male and I'm not a female and I'm not someone who's in that space. And I understand fully that was a grooming, that was someone who had power and control. And people always talk about, well, why didn't you just leave? You were advancing your career, which is all true. But at the end of the day, how many women have we seen over the course of time who can't even break away from people who are in the trailer park, let alone Diddy? So it's like, obviously it's psychological, and people fail to realize that it wasn't just about his power. Like, this is the dynamic between men and women in all walks of life. Even if you poor, there's women out here getting their ass whooped that's still coming back to their husband. With their teeth knocked in. You know what I'm saying? Over here, toothless, and you came back, because it's a psychological thing. And we need to be more empathetic to people who are abused. You know what I'm saying? We need to be more empathetic to those who deal with psychological trauma and mental disorders. Even I know Inside talks about just dealing with PTSD on his platform and stuff like that. I am certain that there is shit that I could not fathom that he deals with on a day-to-day basis, whether it's 4th of July when the fireworks go off, whether it's loud honks or loud noises that may just trigger him, and he has to consciously deal with trying to not go to a place that he shouldn't go to because he's not in that world no more. I don't know nothing about that shit, but I know it exists, and we can be empathetic toward others who struggle and deal with things that are mentally exhausting. That's exhausting. You know what I'm saying? So
It is.
yeah, I'm getting exhausted talking about it. That's why we're gonna go ahead and wrap it up. Wrap it up. We're gonna go ahead and wrap it up. So with that being said, for the second time, man, for those who out there who are in debate, join the squad. Say it again, audio manipulator. We should what?
Join the squad.
For sure.
Join the squad, man.
Mix squad. Let's go. We out.
Did it again, Alex. Give me more. Okay, cash at hand. That's the motto, that's the plan. Got a whole lot of loot. Check my status, that's the brand. Boy, stop playing. Money so long, broke them rubber bands in the jam. I'll be damned if I fuck with Uncle Sam. I'll be spazzing on the beat. I go thermal on them niggas. I'm absorbing all the heat. Oh, salty ass niggas be thinking that it's sweet. Oh, dusty ass niggas in the president of the league. Salute. Yeah, we looking for recruits. Join the squad, get you open, corner 3, 2, 1, shoot. Don't be scared, come prepared, and we keep you in the loop. Get you squared and prepared, and we accept you as a truth.